Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. I had an epiphany the other day. I was thinking about Call of Duty multiplayer and a whole bunch of different dynamics and topics that I could talk about, but I want to talk about something in particular, something that's been really a key part in Call of Duty since the beginning, and that is map design. Now, there are a lot of different aspects of map design that we can talk about. I have really just preached about the complex maps, about how great they can be, and about how stupid simple maps are bad for Call of Duty. I honestly think that stupid simple maps are a huge part in why there's not a lot of Call of Duty content on YouTube, but we'll get to that later. What I want to talk about is power positions. The reason people like 3-lane maps, simple maps, simply laid out, stupid simple I would even say, is that they are so predictable. They are incredibly easy to predict traffic flow. On any 3-lane map here in Black Ops 3, you are going to be very easily, you're going to be able to predict where people are most likely going to be very easily, even if you haven't played the map all too well. This is why when me or you pick up a DLC map, we automatically sort of get a feel for where enemies are going to be just naturally because of the way the map is laid out. Now, some of you beautiful people and some Call of Duty players out there really like this. They view this as a positive thing. It's predictable, it's controlled. That's really, really nice. So let's try to get that with complex maps. I like complex maps because there's a lot more strategy. There's a lot more options that a player can use in order to outsmart their enemy. It's not just about your gun skill or the lag or the weapon balance. It's a lot more about the player and the player's decisions. So how can we combine these two ideas, these two different ends of the spectrum seemingly, of the player having the choice of being unpredictable or predictable, yet remaining consistent somehow? How do we make these maps flow consistently well as having a complex layout? Mind you, this is something that Call of Duty Ghost even struggled with, and that is power positions. Power positions, you may have heard the term, but power positions have really been on the decline ever since Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3, Infinity Ward set out to eliminate all power positions because of campers. Campers sitting up in windows. In Modern Warfare 2, I don't know about, well, I guess Black Ops 1 a little bit here and there. There were these predetermined camping spots. See, back before Modern Warfare 3, in Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Call of Duty 4, I'm not entirely sure, there were these very common power positions, positions of slight advantage because they were either elevated, because they were hard to get to, because they oversaw a big part of the map or whatever, but people would love to just sit in these areas and, well, camp. With good reason to, because with power positions, there is a lot of power in those positions, so obviously they are a favorable position to be in. So you might be asking yourself, Donuts, why do you want these to return? Because that's what I'm talking about here. I want these to come back, and that might sound like I am pro camper. Donuts, you just want to make everyone camp. That's why you like Call of Duty Ghost. Not so much. Power positions are not just good for campers who just want to sit in one spot and get a lot of action. Power positions are fantastic tools for rushers, because if you think about this map, this big open map, like a big square, and you throw a bunch of like marbles in it and you shake around the map, you shake it around, those marbles are just going to be randomly everywhere, right? That's what a Call of Duty Ghost map is. Like, you got this big huge map and just crazy chaotic randomness. But if you put in a magnet in that map, then some of the marbles are going to be attracted to that. Oh, and now there's your predictability. When you have a map with a power position, you are more likely to predict where people are going to be based on the fact that there's a power position, based on the fact that, hey, people genuinely or generally like to go to this one specific location. This was my key to success in rushing in Call of Duty Ghost. Call of Duty Ghosts had some minor power positions, like on Warhawk you had the windows, on Freefall you had the windows as well, but what that does is, like I said before, it creates a predictability, it creates a specific map flow. You know where people are generally going to be and most likely going to be. What this does is that the routes that seem kind of crazy and complex and random, it makes it less likely for players to be there, which make it a little bit more safer for you to flank and get around the enemy. Whereas with a 3-lane map where you still have that predictability, you still have that consistency, you don't have that much decision in flanking the opponent or getting around the opponent or really surprising the opponent with your positioning, because your positioning is really well known because of how simple the map is. The good thing about power positions is if you know somebody is in that window sniping or something, camping with an IED, you don't have to face them. You can just avoid that situation entirely. And one of the most important things in Call of Duty multiplayer is positioning. And if someone knows where you are, that is huge. You are most likely going to die if people know where you are. And if you know where someone else is and they don't know where you are, like a camper in a power position and you attacking that power position, well, they have the disadvantage. In fact, you can grenade them, you can stun them, you could noob tube them, you could pre-fire them, you can be ready for them before they are ready for you. Of course, they might have like a claymore or an IED, but you can take care of that if you are careful enough. That engagement is what I'm trying to say. That engagement is completely up to you. That is not something that is forced upon you like something we would get in Black Ops 3 where engagements are forced upon you. And this solution, for the most part, makes both parties happy. The new players, the bad players who don't really feel comfortable running and gunning, who have bad reaction times, they get a certain high risk, high reward part of the map where they can look out a window and kill people from a distance. However, with the rushers going on, they have a lot more space of the map to actually run around and be unpredictable. And as I was saying before, if you are predictable, you are most likely going to die. This is why the UAV and any perk that reveals your location or your position to somebody else is so powerful. And we'll talk about that in my next commentary or commentary in the future. But the unpredictability of the complex maps, as well as the consistency of the Black Ops 3 3-lane maps, is really encapsulated with complex maps with power positions, predictability, and unpredictability, or I should say unpredictability and some consistency. So that's my thoughts on these maps. What are your guys' thoughts? I know this might be a new concept for you beautiful people, since they did get rid of power positions way back in Modern Warfare 3. It seems like so long ago now, like 5 years or so. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next absolutely beautiful Call of Duty morning, I will catch up with you guys later. And as always, stay beautiful.